What's up guys, Adam Drake here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the JConcepts F2I wing. This is my wing of choice for all 8-scale nitro and electric buggy and truck. The wing is available in 3 colors, black, white, and yellow. And there are a few tuning options that you can do when mounting the wing. So I'm going to go over those different options and when or why you would want to make those changes for how you mount the wing. And I'm also going to go through and show you, I have some stickers here or wing wraps from Stick It One Racing. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just go through start to finish the process of how I mount the wing and mount the stickers onto the wing, and then talk a little bit about the tuning options. So here we have a look at the JConcepts F2I wing. It is a molded wing for 8-scale buggies and trucks. And you can see here it has a built-in gurney or wickerbill. Now, keeping the wing in the stock form is going to have the most grip. This is going to allow it to catch additional air and give the wing and the rear of the car more downforce. The thing that you need to look out for though is if it's a windy condition or even just a track with a lot of big jumps, sometimes when the wing is able to catch extra air, it's gonna make the car a little bit more difficult to kind of control in the air. So most of the time I go ahead and I remove this wickerbill, and I'm not sure if you can see, but there's actually like a little seam or mold line that I will show you here in a minute where I just scribe with an X-Acto knife and I cut that off. You can adjust the height. It's just really hard to get straight if you go either above or below that line. So I like to cut it just on that actual scribe line. And before doing that, I'll just take some flush cutters and I will trim both sides of the wickerbill down to where that scribe line is at. And then from there, I'll just take a brand new X-Acto blade, or you can also use like an actual razor blade, whatever you feel the most comfortable, and you know, try to be safe when doing this. I always try to make sure the hand that I'm using to hold and support the wing, I kind of hold that to where it's out of harm's way. And then I'll just line the X-Acto up and then just slowly come along this this mold line. And you don't have to really push down with a whole lot of force at first, because you're just trying to scribe and make sure that you cut it straight. You can use scissors or even like a Dremel with a cutoff wheel. It's really whatever works best or is easiest for you. But once I scribe it in both directions, I'll just take and bend it along that scribe line. And then once I have that bent, I'll go ahead and basically just cut a little bit deeper, and it'll cut all the way through, and you can just kind of bend that off all in one piece. For me, that's been the easiest way to cut in a straight line. Again, you just follow the mold line that's already on the wing. Another option is you can take a body reamer and you can put holes in the wing. If you want to leave the wicker on and put holes, that would still have a lot of traction, but also help with the jumping. For me, I just go ahead and usually trim that off. If I am struggling or looking for additional traction, then I'll leave the wickerbill on. Now, on the bottom side of the wing, there's a really cool grid, and this grid makes it easy to mount this wing for any 8-scale car. So you have to just kind of figure out the positioning for your particular vehicle, but for the Mugen car, I just take a Sharpie or a paint pen, and the position that I normally start with is I will count in 3 lines and then back 5 lines. And then I'll just go ahead and mark that with the Sharpie. So then on this other side, I will count in 3 lines and then back 5. And then I know where I need to either use a body reamer or a drill bit. Now, you can play with that or adjust where that position is, and what that's going to do is move the wing forward and back. So if you move the wing forward, it's going to have a little bit less rear grip, but it's also going to help a little bit with stability because the wing is pretty high and also heavy. So the farther back the wing is, the more downforce it's going to put on the back of the car, but it also can kind of have a pendulum effect where it kind of makes the rear of the car sway a little bit low speed or in the middle of the corner. So for me, normally I like to start with it in 3 and back 5. And from there, I just take a body reamer, go to the corner where I marked it, and just punch a hole in each of those positions. And then I'll go ahead, flip it over, clean up those holes from the other side. You want to be careful not to go too big with a body reamer, otherwise the wing will actually be a little bit loose and can rock back and forth. So I try to make the holes maybe a little bit on the small side to start, and then if I need to, I can ream them out a little bit. Or you can just use an actual drill bit that is going to be the correct size, and you don't have to worry about kind of slipping or applying too much pressure with the body reamer. Now, from there, I'm going to go ahead and apply the wing wrap from Stick It One. I'll go ahead and do a wing wrap for Rhonda here. If you ever need any stickers or wraps or anything like that, Stick It One is who Rhonda and myself use. They do an awesome job. They're based out of Arizona, and really, really great products from Stick It One. So with the wing, the side guards or side dams, the sticker kind of sits into like a little number plate area. It's pretty simple and easy to apply. If you do rush it and end up having an air bubble, you're going to want to make an adjustment now. The longer this sticker sits, the harder it's going to be to kind of peel back this adhesive. So it's okay if you need to peel that back a little bit, make a small adjustment. Another thing though that you will want to do is you'll want to make sure that your hands are clean before applying the stickers, just to make sure that it can stick as good as possible. We'll go ahead and apply the other number plate. Sometimes I'll even take like a microfiber towel and use that to just kind of push and make sure that the sticker is pushed all the way down. It's really cool with these wraps from Stick It One because, you know, they spend a lot of time to make sure that they fit the wings or radios or whatever you're applying it to. So there's really not a whole lot of work that needs to go into doing this. You just want to take your time, make sure that everything is kind of lined up straight, and then just go ahead and push it down. So we'll move on to kind of some more of the fancy looking part of the wing wrap here. And again, you just kind of want to line it up in the center of this back area of the wing. Make sure that it's straight. Then just apply some pressure. And then I'll show you a tip here in a minute where I use a lighter. You can also use a heat gun to kind of heat up the sticker. It'll help kind of push any little air bubbles out if you have any air bubbles. And then it'll also heat up the adhesive and make the adhesive a little bit softer to where it's going to then, once it cools down, it'll actually have a little bit stronger bond to the wing. So now kind of the hardest part and what takes a little bit of patience is the main body area of the wing wrap. You just want to make sure, again, you take your time to line it up. It's always best if when you stick this down the first time, you don't have to peel it up, but it also doesn't really hurt much if you do have to peel it up, as long as your hands and everything are clean. So what I like to do is this center brace of the wing, there's little cutouts for the wing wrap. You just want to make sure that that is as close to centered in the wing wrap's cutout. And then you'll just go ahead and try to make sure it's as straight and lined up as nice as possible. And before I go ahead and apply a bunch of pressure and push it all down, I'll go ahead and do the same thing here on the other side. And then from there, I'll go ahead and apply the pressure and kind of work from the center towards the outside. That way, if there is any air bubbles, you're kind of pushing those air bubbles towards the outside to where they can release any of that excess air. Then what I like to do is take a lighter, and I'll just go ahead and quickly apply a little bit of heat to the entire number plate, apply some extra pressure, and I'll just go ahead and continue on with the rest of the wing and do that everywhere. That way, like I mentioned earlier, it's just gonna heat up that adhesive and make it stick a little bit better. Especially there's times in cold weather where if the wing flexes a bunch and that adhesive didn't get heated up and pressed down, sometimes the wrap can kind of start to peel up. Now I'll go ahead and just do the main area of the wing wrap. Careful not to burn yourself. And there you have it. You have a JConcepts F2I wing wrapped with a custom wrap from Stick It One Racing. So not only does it look awesome, it also handles awesome. And again, this is the wing of choice that I use for all my 8-scale nitro and electric buggies and trucks.